guys, welcome back to my Q&A series, and the first question is by Eva Seidel. Hi Amy, I am deciding between the Chanel Boy in Old Medium and the LV Capucines BB in Galet. Which one would you choose and why? I know you had the boy and sold it. Does it fit as much as the Capucines BB? I really like the Capucines. I had the chance to go to an LV party last year and played around with a couple of bags, one of them being the Capucines, and I actually did try it in Galet as well. So if you guys are wondering which one exactly it is, it's in one of my vlogs, which I will link up here for you guys to watch if you're interested. So yes, I really like the shape of the Capucines. I think the leather is so gorgeous. It's very thick. Even though it's a smaller size bag, it fits quite a bit because it is more open. Overall, I really like the shape. I like the construction. I like the quality of it. And of course, it comes with this beautiful strap that you can also use to wear crossbody if you wish. I especially like the fact that it has a single handle. Like I mentioned in my past videos, I really like bags with single handles. I could go either way, honestly. I think I'm still attracted to the boy. It's something that I can't really explain. I think it's just the youthfulness and the edginess of the bag itself I still really like. And oh, actually it fits less than the Capucines. You kind of have to play a little bit of Tetris with the boy, especially I had it in a medium size, the old medium size. With the Capucines, I think that even though it's still a structured bag, it's still open, and it's still a you know, it's still a little bit more flexible than the boy, so it would still definitely fit more, and I would say that it's probably less annoying to use the Capucines. So yeah, I guess I would still go with the Capucines. Nika Donskaya, dear Amy, please explain the difference between Damier Ébène canvas and Damier Ébène leather. I thought it was only canvas. Canvas is not leather, right? I am confused. And what is the right way to pronounce Ébène? So, great question. I think sometimes we are confusing, or at least I'm gonna just refer to me. 2 years ago, I mentioned that I sold my Speedy B25 because it was in Damier Ébène, and because the strap on the Damier Ébène cuts me, or it's very uncomfortable for me. So when I mention, or when I said Damier Ébène canvas, it really refers to the canvas, but somehow I also mentioned Damier Ébène leather, but I really meant the leather trim that comes with the Damier Ébène canvas. So Damier Ébène in itself refers to the canvas print, and damier in French means checkerboard. Ébène means something like dark color or black. In general, it means black, but it can also mean of dark color, like the ebony tree. So put together, that's actually referring to the print, so the canvas material, because it is made of canvas, it's not made of leather. Now, each bag has leather trims on it, and when I said Damier Ébène leather, I meant the trim that comes with the Damier Ébène canvas bags, so the brown leather. Now, how do you pronounce it? Like, I know we all pronounce it differently here on YouTube, but I know that I'm pronouncing it correctly because I am fluent in French, and I learned French in Quebec, which is the only French-speaking province here in Canada. Yes, we have different accents, whatever. There are some words that we may pronounce slightly differently, but the gist of it, or it's still correct, you know what I mean? It's just our local accent. But there's not really that much accent going into Damier Ébène. It's Damier Ébène. I think D-A, da, is very intuitive. Mier is a little bit more confusing because in French, E-R is pronounced E, so that is why M-I-E-R is mier, damier. Now, Ébène has two different types of accents. So the first one is accent aigu, is pronounced E, and the second E is accent grave, which is E, and that is why we pronounce E, B, N. Ébène. Damier Ébène. And usually in French you don't emphasize the last sort of syllable, if that makes sense. I mean, you do, but if there's a T or an S or an E, it's kind of more silent. So you don't really say Damier Ébène, you say Damier Ébène. It's as if the E is not there. So lots of rules, lots of exception in the French language, but that's how it is, and I don't really expect everyone to pronounce it correctly. Not that it really matters, because we're talking about bags, not the names itself, like not the language itself, if that makes any sense. So I hope you guys will be understanding of people who don't pronounce it correctly, but also don't think that people who pronounce it correctly are just trying to show off, because I don't need to show off. I mean, I'm bilingual, so whatever. But awesome question, and thank you for asking. Lara, hi Amy, what did you think of the LV Pallas Clutch as an evening clutch, and what do you think of the LV Croisette? So both bags you mentioned, I have checked out when they sort of first came out. The Pallas Clutch came out first. I have nothing against a good canvas product. I actually really like canvas bags from LV. I think they're super casual, and I think they are so iconic and just so comfortable to wear. I just really love that property from LV bags. But for some reason, when I look at actual clutches, I think of not only the versatility for daytime wear, but I want it to be able to be dressy enough for like a real nice evening, or like going to events like weddings and such. And so I didn't want my clutches to be of canvas material, or at least not so much canvas material, if that makes any sense. And that is why, even though I really did like the Pallas Clutch, because I like that it stands up on its own if you put it on the table. It has these, you know, flat base, and I just love the design. It's so cute, and it's the perfect length and everything. It wasn't enough to push me to buy it, if that makes sense. Plus, I guess the price range was kind of up there, and I thought that I can wait and find another clutch that has more of the properties that I'm looking for in an evening clutch, that is still versatile enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, nothing against the Pallas Clutch. I just think that I want something even more different and less canvas-y. I guess the Croisette, the only thing that I didn't like was the fact that the handles were stationary. So like I said, similarly to the Coco handle bag from Chanel, it kind of, every time you open it, it kind of just gets in the way a little bit. But otherwise, the shape is cute, the lock is cute. I think the length of the strap was pretty good as well. It wasn't too long, or it wasn't too short either. So overall, I really like the bag, but just not enough to get it, I suppose. And I have a similar bag because I have the Pochette Métis, so I didn't really need to get the Croisette, if that makes sense. But I really do like it, especially in the Damier canvases, either the white or the brown. I thought they were really nice. Anders Julian, Amy, why don't you buy structured totes anymore? Just wondering, as I was thinking of getting one. There was a lot of trial and error in my sort of handbag journey up to now, and the last time I bought a structured tote, I sold, and I knew after that I'm just gonna stop buying structured totes. So the last structured tote that I bought was the LV Kensington. Once in a while I get a comment or a question regarding why I sold it or what I didn't like about it. Honestly, the bag was beautiful. It really was, and it was really lightweight for what it is, being such a structured tote. For me, totes that are structured just doesn't work in my lifestyle. Like I mentioned before, anytime I reach for a bag that is of a larger size, I want it to be slouchy. I want it to accommodate more and just give me the ability to throw things in. And with a tote that is structured, even though it does accommodate more, it kind of starts losing its shape once I just start throwing all kinds of different shaped things in, or even like a sweater or whatever. Even if it's not a bulky thing, even if it's just like a sweater that you can or even like a scarf that you can really fold down nicely and neatly. It just disrupts the shape. In the end, it boils down to structured totes having limitations for capacity and also for different types of objects. Like I said, I normally don't really carry a lot of things. I only carry enough to fit in a small bag, such as my Twice, which I love using. But if I do want to carry more, a structured tote is not enough. And I'm not just gonna carry a small amount of things in my structured tote, because then why would I want to wear that tote? I just would rather just go with my small bags, and that's more of a lifestyle thing, and that is the reason why I no longer look at or will no longer consider structured totes. Lou Brinkman, I am new to your YouTube channel and I love your videos. I am debating between the Speedy Bee and the Kensington. I see that you sold your Speedy. Do you still love the Kensington, and how it is holding up? So like I mentioned earlier, I sold both bags. They are both in Damier Ébène. The material on the straps coming from Damier Ébène bags, so the chocolate brown leather straps, just are not made for me, because it's not so stiff. I mean, it's stiffer than vachetta, but it's not so stiff that I thought it would cause a problem. But I think there is something about that leather, the way they cut it is very sharp, and it's still stiffer, right? So the treated leather just doesn't, I just don't do well with it. It kind of really digs into my shoulder, especially I tend to go for larger bags in that print. I don't know, they just look good in that print, the large bags, especially since they don't scream as much as monogram. In the past, that's how I thought, right? And so yeah, that is why I no longer have either bags. I want to buy the Speedy Bee again, but probably in monogram, because I love monogram now and I love vachetta, how comfortable it is. Regarding the Kensington, it wore super well. I mean, I've had it for a shorter period before I sold it, and I didn't really use it as much as I thought I would. I was kind of crazy about it when I first got it and used it like quite a few times during the first 2 weeks, but then afterwards it was just sitting in the corner, because I think I was starting to realize that, you know, that kind of shape, the structuredness of a tote, and also that kind of strap just doesn't work for me. And so I had to sell it. And while I had it, it wore super well. It was basically brand new when I sold it, and I don't know, I cannot see why it would not wear well. It had a really beautiful torn handle. The inside was made of the beautiful Alcantara lining, and yeah, I have nothing bad to say about the bag except for the fact that it just wasn't made for me. Anders Julian, I know the pochettes is very popular, but if you had to choose for an everyday bag, which would you go for, the Twice or the pochettes? Is the strap too stiff for you, and does it hurt like the one with the Damier Ébène purses? Today, I would have to say that I kind of prefer the Twice a bit more. I do find the Twice to be more comfortable, and I love the fact that mine is in the empreinte leather, and the leather is just so beautiful and it's worn so well. I think other than the fact that it became a bit more slouchy, the leather itself hasn't really aged or anything. You hear people say that the embossing will sort of fade over time, but I don't see that in my bag at all. So I don't know if it's just mine that is super well made, but I really love it. I've made a comparison video as well as a what's in my bag and an updated review on it, so I will try to make sure to link all of these down below for you guys to check it out. Between the two, I kind of prefer the Twice now, but I still really love my pochettes, other than the fact that I had to get it repaired for the glazing. But the bag itself is just phenomenal. It has so much space. The inside compartments are beautiful and just so well thought out. The strap itself, yes, it's kind of stiff. It is stiffer than the Damier Ébène straps, but it doesn't cut like the Damier Ébène, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's because the bag itself is smaller than my Damier Ébène bags, and therefore I can't load it up as much, and therefore maybe it hurts less. But it is stiff, I have to say. It's not the most comfortable strap. So all in all, If I had to redo it, I would choose the twice, knowing what I know now, but I still really love the push emissives, if that makes sense. Christina Chen, what do you think of the artsy bag? I have a Neverfull GM and I am now looking for another bigger bag. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of the artsy. I think it looks nice, but that's it. I don't think of anything about it. I think I like the shape and the idea of the shape and how it looks, but I don't think I will enjoy carrying it. The strap that is on it with the curved, what is it called? I think it's made of cork inside. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me, but I don't think that's very comfortable from what I've heard as well. So I think all I can say about the bag is that I like it from afar. I like to look at it, but I probably wouldn't add it to my collection personally. Apple Juice Socks. Hi Amy, would you buy the Noe BB strap and wear it on your Bitsy Noe crossbody? Very good question. I know my good friend here, Tiffany from Louis Vuitton Coffee Lover, she just recently made a video regarding her Noe BB strap, which she uses on her Bitsy Noe, and it looks phenomenal on her. Highly recommend her video if you guys want to check it out to see for yourself. Now, personally, since you're asking me, I don't like to modify my bags. I don't like to add charms, and I don't like to change the original design of a bag. That's just a personal thing. I don't know why I do that. I think I just value the original designs of bags, and if the original design has something that I don't like about, then I just won't buy it, if that makes sense. So having said that, I probably wouldn't buy the Noe strap to wear on my Bitsy Noe if I still had my Bitsy Noe, just because of that principle. It has nothing, I have nothing against that strap because obviously I love Vachetta. So yeah, that's my answer. But that is not to say that it's not a good idea, because obviously it is a good idea and Tiffany did it. And last question by Hello Harley. Amy, I have decided that I would order the new backpack because the one that I have was misaligned and it was bothering me. When I went to exchange it, my SA had to do the return for me, but he was sort of pissy because I guess he didn't like the fact that he would maybe lose the commission. Honestly, I have worked with him for years and I have never, he has never been like this before. Should I feel bad for not being satisfied about purchasing a bag that I wasn't 100% happy? I wasn't trying to be fickle, but truly it was just bothering me that it was misaligned. Yours looks perfect and I can clearly tell that mine wasn't. I also really wanted one that is made in France. As I understand, it is very hard to get and cannot guarantee. Do you think that I am setting my bar too high? I completely understand from your point of view, as well as the SA's point of view, that you know, it's frustrating. I mean, you got a bag, a product that you want it to be perfect, and of course we know the whole shebang about handmade and whatnot, and it's just a bag, like some people might say that, but I mean, that's just your preference, right? So there's nothing wrong with feeling you know, feeling that you're not satisfied with how it looks and that you just want to exchange it. I totally understand. So I mean, to me, policy is policy. So as long as you're within the policy limit and you have never used the bag and you brought it back in exactly the same way that you bought it in, I don't see anything wrong with that. So I don't think you should feel bad, obviously. Now, I can sort of understand from his point of view maybe that you know, maybe he just had a long day. I'm not sure. I'm just, at this point, I'm just thinking of all the reasons that could have gone through an SA's head, that maybe they just don't like doing returns, because it's also bad for the company to always keep on receiving things that are returned, because no one wants to get a return bag, right? No one wants to buy a return bag. And you know, it's, at the end of the day, maybe, you know, he was just frustrated about that. But not necessarily at you. So I don't think you should take it personally at all. Even if he genuinely had a bad attitude towards you and was getting personal, then whatever, policy is policy and he has to follow it. And the product, as far as you and I are concerned, was not perfect. It wasn't defective, but it was not perfect. And if you're within your rights to exchange it, then so be it. So yeah, don't feel bad. You know, you do you and he does him. Now, as far as buying bags, I'm pretty good at being patient to wait for the perfect bag, and learn to also be really detail oriented when I look at a brand new bag and decide to purchase or not, because it boils down to taking home something that you're really happy with, and I don't want to have that feeling that you just felt with your purchase. And so I do my best to be patient. It's very hard sometimes, because sometimes it boils down to waiting and waiting and waiting for something that's very, very popular, and then sometimes it might just never be available, or maybe the price increase. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's Q&A. I think this will be my last Q&A before I go on my trip. I hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!